So now we got another boy. So she's got it. This is it. I told her to have some more. She said, "Huh."
How's the monarch? Wow, that screen is interesting.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight to the Nassau County Board of County Commissioners meeting for May 13th, 2024. Calling the meeting to order, and please stand for the invocation and the pledge. The invocation tonight will be given by Mr. Irving Gilliard.
Good evening. Our Heavenly Father, we honor you this evening. We thank you for this Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County. And as they go through this agenda, we ask that you just lead and guide them, that in decision-making will be for the best interests of the citizens of Nassau County. And we ask blessing for the support staff, the county manager's office, county attorneys, and all those that support them. And special blessing upon our first responders as they go through dangers they see and dangers they don't see. Continue to bless this great county of Nassau County and continue to bless all of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Commissioner McCullough. Here. Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Farmer.
Here.
Commissioner Hupman.
Here.
And Chair Martin.
Here. Okay, we're going to go to public comment for non-agenda items. Comments can only be for items under the authority of the Board of County Commissioners. Time limit is 3 minutes. Considering recent public commenters' behavior, before calling for public comment this evening, I wish to remind everyone of the rules of decorum adopted by this board in 2022. These include that speakers must address comments to the board as a whole and only the board. Speakers must also refrain from personal, impertinent, or slanderous comments or otherwise displaying disruptive behavior and interrupting the meeting. There will be no warnings. If I use the gavel, speakers must cease their comments and may be escorted from the meeting. Thank you all for your attention to these rules and professional conduct at this meeting. And our first speaker, I have, for non-agenda items, I have Ms. Jackie Osborne.
Jackie Osborne, 85503 Saddlepine Funding Beach, Florida, 23204.
You
Hello.
were ahead of me. I was going to say, please state your name and address for the record.
I only had 3 minutes, for gosh sakes. Good
Podcast
evening.
started.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to address you tonight. As you know, I'm a volunteer at the Nassau County Animal Shelter here in Yulee. Before I give you information, I'd like to tell you that the animal shelter dog kennel is almost at capacity with a waiting list of surrender dogs. On the overhead that you were going to see pictures of 77 dogs, but I didn't do it right, so you're not going to see it tonight. I promise to do it better next month. Please consider adopting these dogs. The last time I was in here, I shared the information on the temperatures outside an enclosed car. If it's 80 degrees outside, the temperature will be 109 in 20 minutes. If it's 85 outside, the temperature on the concrete on the pads where the dog put their feet is 110. Walk them in the grass. Again, leave the dog at home. It's happier there than in a hot car. After reading this information, I looked into the laws regarding rescuing animals in hot cars in Florida. I just assumed you could break the car and get the animal out. Well, not so fast. First thing you do is you make sure that the animal is in a car that's not running. FYI, a Tesla has a pet mode in it, for those of you that have Teslas. If the dog is in stress, go to the store and have the car tag read out. If no response, Call 911 and ask for Mr. Leeper over there, Sheriff Leeper. As a last resort, with no responses from the owner and 911, and the dog or cat is in imminent danger, the state of Florida has a Good Samaritan law to protect you from civil liability. I also shared with you that Tiger the dog that was stranded on Tiger Island had been rescued. Tiger is actually Ms. Tiger now. She's been adopted by a family that have opened their hearts and home to her. She is happy and they are thrilled to have her as part of their home. The numbers, as I indicated, the kennel is at capacity. There are 77 dogs in the kennel and 67 more are being on foster. Kitten season is getting here, it's getting geared up. There are 20 felines in the cattery. There are 100 of them that are out in foster. For the time period, May 6th through 13, the shelter took in 60 felines. 13 of them were adults. One was aged 6 months to 1. 10 were aged juvenile to 5 months. 27 were unweaned and required bottle feeding and/or nursing mother. Through the hard work of the staff and the generosity of the citizens of Nassau County, all the unweaned and kittens have been taken in by foster family. They will be brought back whenever they weigh 2 pounds and go into foster again. Whenever they are unweaned, they'll come in and then they'll go back out to another foster, and then at 2 pounds, they'll come and be done. Again, please don't kidnap a kitten. If you see it on the road, under your car, whatever, put it in a box, leave it. More than likely, mama's gone to get some food or she's moving the other cats. If you take it when it's that young, it will not survive. There's a 10% chance of survival. I know this because I've taken 4 of them and all 4 of them died. All 4 of them. Leave the kittens where they are. There are 2 events this weekend, one May 16th at the Tales of the Trail at the Marlin and Barrel and the vendor market on Sonic from 4 to 6. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, went over.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. Mr. Casey Jones. Please state your name and address for the record.
Casey Jones, and I'm with Florida Sea Turtle Watch. Not going to leave
3
it.
minutes.
Well, congratulations on the, I don't know if it was a reward or whatever for the Amelia Island for being #1 destination of somebody moving there. But I wonder if they realize that y'all have the worst sea turtle lighting ordinance on the island, so on the East Coast. So, you know, when Miss Mary stood up here and talked, and somebody asked what she thought about the ordinance, and of course she said, you know, it can be seriously improved. So hopefully that ball is rolling now that that direct question was asked, and I look forward to you know, getting that done, and you know, it's been a uphill battle. When I was invited back in 2017, 2018 to get this done before any of y'all were even elected. And I think I forwarded all those emails to y'all last year. I thought it would get done last year, and here we are in the middle of sea turtle season. And you know, how many baby sea turtles are going to die this year? You know, how many nests, does anybody know how many nests went the wrong way last year out of all the nests that were laid? So I brought that up to Mary when I talked to her. She said we usually have about 15, 20 nests. So next meeting, I'm gonna come with facts and figures that from FWC of how many nests went the wrong way last year. And of course, why did I come last year just out of nowhere? Of course, you know, I was told that y'all were gonna do it before any of y'all were elected previous. But y'all had a lot of sea turtles die in 2022. That's why I showed up last year, to try to get this done. And nothing's been done. I mean, y'all done a great job with educating the public. I give you that. But one of the easiest things to do is to pass the sea turtle lighting ordinance. And I mean, that's That's half the battle right there. And it was the enforcement that was so weak, and y'all have tried to enforce that, but still no sea turtle lighting ordinance. I don't understand it. Who's dragging their feet? Who's holding it up? That's the question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. That will move us into public comment for agenda items. Except for quasi judicial items, any member of the public can address any item on the agenda now or wait until the matter is addressed. The time limit is 3 minutes. And I don't have any comment cards. I don't see anyone in the audience raising their hand. So that will move us into expansion items, deletions from the agenda. County Manager,
I have none tonight, sir. Thank you.
County Attorney,
I have none, Mr. Chair, thank you.
thank you. Resolutions and proclamations. Tab A, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners declaring the week of May 12th through May 18th, 2024 as National Police Week and May 15th, 2024 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in Nassau County, Florida. And I will entertain a motion on tab A.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I think they tied for the motion, so I have a motion from Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and Commissioner Farmer will read the proclamation.
All right, I'd like to invite Sheriff Leeper, Chief Tambasco, Deputy Chief Bishop, and any other peace officer that is present. Will you please join me at the podium? Thank you. This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners declaring the week of May 12th through May 18th, 2024 as National Police Week in Nassau County, Florida, and proclaiming May 15th, 2024 as Peace Officers Memorial Day. Whereas May 15th was designated by presidential proclamation in 1962 by President John F. Kennedy as Peace Officer Memorial Day, and the week on which it falls as National Police Week. This was designated to honor those officers, federal, state, and local, who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty. And whereas National Police Week has become widely recognized throughout the United States of America as a new way for citizenry to pay tribute and express their gratitude to those who serve and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Florida Highway Patrol, the Nassau County Sheriff's Office, and the Fernandina Beach Police Department. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, there have been 26,567 law enforcement officers in the United States who have made the ultimate sacrifice and were killed in the line of duty. Whereas in 2023, 282 new names of fallen heroes were added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial, including 118 killed in 2023. And whereas to date, Nassau County has suffered the loss of 13 law enforcement officers, heroes who have fallen in the line of duty, including 8 from the Nassau County Sheriff's Office, 1 from the City of Fernandina Beach Police Department, 1 Florida Highway Patrol officer, 2 from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Law Enforcement, 1 Hilliard Constable. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, and sacrifices members of our local law enforcement make for our community, and to credit them for their efforts in safeguarding life and property and protecting us against violence and disorder. Now therefore be it proclaimed this 13th day of May 2024 by the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, that 1, the board hereby proclaims the week of May 12th through May 18th, 2024 as National Police Week in Nassau County, and May 15th, 2024 as Peace Officer Memorial Day in Nassau County. Number 2, the board acknowledges and commends all law enforcement personnel for their service and dedication to Nassau County and its residents. And number 3, the board encourages all residents to thank a law enforcement officer today for their service and dedication to our community. And it's signed by John Martin, our chairman, John Crawford, our clerk, and Miss May, the county attorney. Thank you, guys. protest for that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to see everyone. I want to thank you very much for recognizing National Police Week and recognizing those individuals who served our community and died in the line of duty. You know, the Sheriff's Office, the Fernandina Beach Police Department, Department of Ag, law enforcement, we all have someone on our law enforcement memorial wall. So we don't want them ever to be forgotten for what they did to for our community. So thank you for that. On May the 22nd at 10 a.m., we're going to have our law enforcement memorial service at our law enforcement memorial wall. Invite everyone to come. Public can come as well. We'll recognize a little bit more intimate their families as well to recognize them. So again, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. You want to say anything?
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank y'all. God bless you and please stay safe.
Thanks.
Okay, tab B, approve a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners declaring May 22nd, 2024 as National Maritime Day in Nassau County, Florida. I'll entertain a motion on tab B.
Move to tab B.
Second.
Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Hupman, second by Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I think we have almost all of the Ocean Highway and Port Authority commissioners here. So if you and anyone else associated with this proclamation would please join me at the podium. I'd like to recognize the Chairman, Marion Hill, Vice Chairman Justin Taylor, Commissioner Ray Nelson, and Commissioner Mike Cole.
Miriam.
I already got that.
Yeah, okay.
See, you thought you were getting this. How are you doing? Good, how are you? Good to see you. How's it going? A proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners proclaiming May 24th, 2024 as National Maritime Day in Nassau County, Florida. Whereas National Maritime Day was established by Congress in 1933 to commemorate the American steamship Savannah's voyage from the United States to England, making the first successful crossing of the Atlantic Ocean with steam propulsion. Whereas National Maritime Day is now celebrated annually on May 22nd to recognize, celebrate, and honor the history of the maritime shipping industry. And whereas the maritime industry has played a vital role throughout United States history in supporting commerce and strengthening the economy. And whereas maritime transportation can be realized over any distance by boat, ship, sailboat, or barge, over oceans and lakes, through canals, and along rivers. And whereas shipping may be for commerce, recreation, or military purposes. And whereas dock workers, longshoremen, stevedores, harbor pilots, and merchant mariners all play an essential role to successful port operations. And whereas Florida's 16 deepwater ports contribute more than $117 billion in economic value to the state's economy. And whereas the Fernandina Beach working waterfront has been home to the Port of Fernandina Beach since 1987, where craft linerboard, lumber, steel, wood pulp, break bulk, and other cargo is imported and exported. And whereas the Port of Fernandina Beach creates a positive economic impact through job creation, trade opportunities, and attracting businesses. And whereas the Port of Fernandina has a current workforce of approximately 75 direct employees and has been the chosen career path for thousands of direct and indirect local maritime professionals since 1987. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of County Commissioners of Nassau County, Florida, on this 13th day of May, 2024, hereby designates May 22nd, 2024, as National Maritime Day and joins the Ocean Highway and Port Authority in recognizing the efforts of the Port of Fernandina Beach and its employees for serving as the gateway for domestic and international trade in Nassau County. And it's signed by me as chairman, Clerk of Court John Crawford, and our County Attorney Denise May. Christopher. Madam Chair. She can see it.
Yep, okay, we got it. I would, but I will defer to Vice Chair Fuller first.
I have to say, if you were, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. No, thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for recognizing not just the maritime industry, but also the Port of Fernandina plays a very vital role in our economy and a lot of great opportunities. So want to certainly thank you all for that. And I do want to give special recognition. Taco and his team came out to our meeting last Wednesday and gave a wonderful overview of kind of what's going on and what's to come throughout Nassau County. And it makes me proud. It makes me proud of each and every one of you for the decisions that you're making, the role that you're playing in making this a great place to live, work, and play. And I know it's not easy. It's a thankless job, but you all are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. So don't listen to all the buzz and the noise, because you are certainly working very hard, and we're very honored for this. I do want to recognize we have, of course, our chair. Miriam Hill, who's going to recognize some of the rest of the team, but we have Commissioner Mike Cole, who's here, and then we have Ray Nelson, who retired after 11 plus years from the Port of Fernandina, and then joined us on the Ocean Highway Port Authority, and does a tremendous job and brings just a lot of great insight, very valuable insight. So I want to recognize Commissioner Ray Nelson as well. And up next, Chair Hill.
I will not take up too much of your time. I just wanted to read the names of our employees who have been with the port for longer than 10 years. For 10 plus years, we have Christopher Bailey, Phil Wenerowski. For 15 to 20 years, we have Eugene Hook, Kenneth Tyler. 20 to 25 years, John Wood. 25 to 30 years, Brian Nellums, Christopher Black, Linda Petty, Stanley Harvey, and Charles Clinch. And with us tonight, we have Patrick Eldridge, who has been with the port for 12 years, and Matt Rogero, who has been with the port for 5 3/4 years. I'd like to give them a round of applause. And then one last final point, the Summers Isles is our longest-standing customer of the port. When we constituted as a public body in 1987, they were the first customer. They actually predated that in 1985, so next year is 40 years that we've had that nonstop service to Bermuda, so we wanted to recognize them as well. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you. Okay, that will move us into consent items. If any board member wishes to move a consent item to new business, please do so now. Does any member of the public want to speak on a consent item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion on the consent.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion from Commissioner Farmer, second by Commissioner Gray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to adjourn as the Board of County Commissioners and convene as the SASA MSBU Governing Board.
So moved.
Second?
Motion from Commissioner Gray, second from Commissioner Huffman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion opposed? Motion carries. Tab K, approve and authorize the chairman to sign contract number CM 2933-A2, amendment number 2 to the agreement 20NA1 with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection for monitoring tasks for South Amelia Island Beach Nourishment Project. An increase in the total agreement amount by $140,446.50 to total of to $7,858,950.70, and to extend the agreement for an 18-month period to begin July 1, 2024, and remain in effect until December 31st, 2025. Assistant County Manager Ironman, are you going to take this one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So, the SACE MSBU which its board is represented by you, has done a great job in bringing funding to the south end of the island to make sure that there's beach renourishment in place. So as we receive different FEMA funds, FDEP funds, part of those requirements is that we have ongoing monitoring, making sure that we're looking at the shorebirds and other items. This funding through FDEP allows to, or pays for that monitoring to take place to make sure we're compliant and allows us to have opportunities in the future to continue with more beach renourishments as needed.
Any questions for Mr. Ironman? I'll entertain a motion on tab K.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Upman, second by Commissioner Farmer. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn as the State's MSBU Governing Board and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners.
Second.
Motion from Commissioner Upman, second by Commissioner Farmer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now convened as the Board of County Commissioners again. New business. Any member of the public may address any item under new business at this time. Time limit is 3 minutes each. Is there anyone who wishes to address any item under new business? Seeing none, we'll move into tab L. Consider a resolution delegating the deputy county manager / county engineer the signing authority for permitting activities related to approved Nassau County Capital Improvement Plan projects. I'll entertain a motion for tab L.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Motion from Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Farmer. Any questions or comments? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Informational items. Tab M, informational only, the Board of County Commissioners newsletter for March 2024. Would any commissioner like to comment on anything in the newsletter? Commissioner Gray, you always have kudos to give, and
Yes.
there you go.
What a wonderful, I'd just like to say, thank you, Mr. Chairman, what a great job staff does putting out this publication every month. It's here for the public to view. I think they do a great job. Thank staff for all the hard work on that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. County manager's business.
I have no additional business, sir. Thank you.
County attorney's business. Will be tab N.
I do, and I have a presentation, so I'll go to the
Yes,
podium.
ma'am. For the general public, tab N under county attorney's business is discuss and request direction on amendments to resolution 2022-210, meeting procedures and rules of decorum.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Denise May, your county attorney. Tonight, I am bringing before you an item that was discussed at your winter strategic planning session, and that is your operating policies and procedures. Your schedule or order of business and the rules of decorum were adopted November 28, 2022 by Resolution 2022-210. It includes your schedule of regular meetings, the order of business, the rules of decorum, rules of procedure, special workshop and emergency meetings, and general policies and procedures such as your rules of order of debate. So at your winter strategic planning session, some items were discussed, and we talked about the schedule of regular meetings. I believe there was consensus to amend to begin your Monday evenings at 5 p.m. There was discussion regarding potential meeting dedicated to planning applications. As to your order of business, there was a talk about amending to move non-agenda public comments to the end of the business agenda. Your rules of decorum, some clarifications of wording. Rules of procedure to adopt legislative, quasi-judicial, and appellate hearing procedures into one document, such that I'm not reading things for 30 minutes before each and every one of your legislative hearings or quasi-hearings. Policies and procedures, amend again to talk about policies regarding appointed board members and their interactions with staff. So from that, what I have before you tonight is a draft resolution to pick up on the things that we can hit, the low-hanging fruit. First, in the proposed draft resolution that you have before you is a proposal to amend to begin your Monday evening meetings at 5 p.m. beginning June 3rd. That's because your last meeting for May will be Wednesday, and so June 3rd is your next Monday meeting. We talked about potential meeting dedicated to planning applications only. And while that is a good in theory, in discussions with the county manager and planning staff, we need a little more time to coordinate if you're going to truly have just a planning meeting. Right now, we have a lot of business to attend to, and we didn't see that we could segregate those such that it would make it expeditious to the builders. In other words, we might be putting them off a meeting they could come at earlier. So for right now, we're going to revisit that at maybe a later date. So that is not proposed in your proposed resolution amendment. The order of business is amended and would take place on June 3rd with your 5 p.m. meeting to move the non-agenda public comment to the end of your business agenda. The rules of decorum have been clarified just to make sure that certain behaviors and others were clearly delineated. Also, to change the name of the chairperson to chair, it just makes it easier to say, actually. And that's in the proposed draft resolution. As to rules of procedures and the overall policies and procedures, I am currently working on a very large comprehensive document that would take in all of those rules of debate, motions, rules of conduct, in addition to the things that you're changing tonight. In addition, it would bring in and adopt by resolution your legislative policies that I read before every legislative hearing, your quasi-judicial policies and procedures that I read before every hearing. Also, there's no adopted appellate procedures. I have put those in place, and we have read those before every appellate proceeding, but this would put them all in one document. This document would be adopted if, after discussion among you, and adopted by you, would be up on the website. I've had attorneys contact me and ask what are the procedures for appellate in front of your board. What are the quasi-judicial rules in front of your board? This would make it very clear. It would also cut down on the time that I'm spending wasting 20 minutes each time I'm having to read it into the record. It would just be adopted. There would be a small presentation. So I'm working on a very comprehensive document. I have given it to your county management staff. I'll give it to my staff and others to get feedback before I would bring it back before you in a forum just like this, where you can talk to me about what sounds good, doesn't sound good, and give you time to review that. So I'm working towards those. It would also include policies regarding appointed board members meeting with staff and how that works with the Commission on Ethics decisions in that area. So again, this talks about, I would organize it in probably 2 sections. The organization of the powers, duties, and responsibilities of your body, and then how you would handle legislation and meeting procedures, including your appellate proceedings. So I'm open here. I have before you a small draft resolution, which will just make the 3 changes that we talked about, including your meeting time, your public comment, and rules of decorum. And so I'm asking for any questions that you may have of me to make sure that I still have your consensus. And if so, then I can schedule this resolution for adoption on Wednesday, which would make it effective for your June 3rd meeting.
Any commissioners, any questions?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My feelings are that you moved in the correct direction, Ms. May. You brought back a lot of things we discussed about winter strategic plan session, and I'm in favor of moving it that direction and moving it forward for adoption. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I second, Mr. Gray.
Concur, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I agree. I think you have a unanimous consensus here. I guess that I didn't need to say those 2 words together, did I? You have consensus to move forward on those 3 items that you talked about, the date, the time, and the order of business, and the rules of decorum. And thank you for doing that, because instead of having to wait until we've made all the other changes, we can enact this by motion on Wednesday's meeting. You're going to have it to us Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir. I will have it on
Look forward
Wednesday's
to
meeting for
Wednesday's
your
meeting.
adoption.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. That ends my presentation.
I assume you have no other
I
business?
have no other business before the board. Thank you.
Okay, county commission items. I don't have my list of who went first last time, so I'm going to start with ladies first. Commissioner McCullough.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. I actually don't have public comment this evening. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Don't have a whole lot myself, but I will say I thoroughly enjoyed, me and my family, along with many of you that all attended the Shrimp Festival. It was a lot of fun, handed out a lot of candy. It's a way of building community, and I think that's what we all get out there and try to do. We work hard building community, and I really enjoyed the Shrimp Festival, and I really don't have anything else today. Kind of short-winded tonight.
Commissioner Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We spoke earlier a little bit about the Nassau County newsletter that Miss Katie and Miss Amy and Miss Sabrina worked so hard to put out. If you guys don't get a hard copy of this, you can go to thecountyinsider.com and you can flip through it on your smartphone. Something that really stood out to me flipping through this March publication was our Public Works Road Department here. If you go over here to the paved road overlay program, which obviously did not exist prior to my tenure on the board, there's 41 roads here that the road department is currently processing work authorizations for that will receive level and overlay to improve the existing roadway. And it says here it's anticipated the work will begin this summer and be completed by September 2024. There's 41 roads here, folks. That's tremendous. Double chip seal project right here. There's a total of 12 roads that'll receive the double chip seal this year, which is an alternative paving method, which is liquid asphalt, a layer of crushed rock, creates a smooth driving surface on dirt roads. And the drainage work, the site work, and the roadway work is a tremendous step in the right direction for us. There's 12 roads on the double chip seal project right here that will be completed by September 2024. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our road department, Taco, Marshall, Robert Companion. It's a real heavy lift, but I can tell you right now, this is a tremendous program that we've put in play, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor. Last Wednesday, we were invited to Sunshine Christian Academy to Mr. Petrie's class. He does this event called the Great Shake Off, and he had 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, and they are prepping these individuals for real job interviews, which I thought was really cool because they bring myself, Commissioner Martin, Commissioner McCullough, and there were also 3 or 4 other business leaders from our community that volunteered their time to come sit in and interview these students one-on-one. And I'm gonna tell you, there were some really good kids in there, some really good candidates, and I didn't give any kid in there less than a B-. I had one kid that got a B-, and everybody else was B+ and above. And I'm gonna tell you, it's real promising to see that the character of our young people, and it's just indicative of the parenting, it's indicative of the teaching. And I'm gonna tell you, when you get a card like this that says, "Thank you so much for coming out, volunteering your time and serving our community," and it's signed by 28 young people, this is why we do what we do, folks. And I'd just like to say thanks a lot for, Mr. Petrie, his class, his leadership, and Sunshine Christian Academy for the opportunity to go over and serve. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Martin. Commissioner Hupman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We haven't met since Shrimp Fest, and I want to give a nod to Nassau County and the city of Fernandina Beach for, I love Shrimp Fest weekend. It's guilty. I think it's a great time. It brings the community together. I know it brings a lot of other visitors, but such tremendous work went on, and this year's festival I thought was superb. This week, we're just coming out of that. Now this week, there's another big event happening. This Friday, the Wild Amelia Nature Festival will be down at Main Beach Friday evening and into Saturday, where they're coordinating with Nassau County's bicentennial event, which will take place all day Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Main Beach in conjunction with the Wild Amelia Nature Fest. This is a big day. The whole Main Beach area is filled. There'll be entertainment during the day. There are nonprofits will come in again. The Nassau 2050 Vision tent will be where you enter through this festival, and I encourage everybody who comes out to please participate in that vital program that's still going on for many months. But we need as much input from the community as possible to make sure that we get an accurate picture of where we're going in the future of Nassau County. So come on out, be part of that event this weekend, have your voices heard, and I look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. It'll be busy.
Thank you, Commissioner
Mr.
Hupman.
Chairman.
Well, I'm going to try not to repeat too much of what my colleagues have said, but I'm just going to echo their comments, Commissioner Farmer, you hit the nail on the head. These students at Sunshine Christian Academy, I was impressed. I really was impressed. And that went all the way down from the seniors down to the freshmen and sophomores. They are really sharp kids, very goal-oriented. They know what they want. They know that academics is important, but also their faith is important. And I was very, very impressed. I let the staff know that. Shrimp Festival Committee, I know there's a lot of people that work real hard, volunteer their time, but I want to acknowledge Scott Inglis. He was the chairman of the Shrimp Festival Committee this year. He and his team did an outstanding job. The parade, all the commissioners participated in the parade, and I got to tell you, I've been here for 31 years going to Shrimp Festival, and not always in the parade, but I've been, either watched it or participated, and this parade had more people on the sidelines watching it than any time I can remember. So it was really good. Commissioner Huffman touched on the bicentennial and opening of the beaches. We're going to have our vision tent there somewhere, I assume, County Manager, during the opening of the beaches. It's all part of it's our bicentennial activities. And I appreciate Vice Chairman and Commissioner Huffman is going to fill in for me at the beginning of the opening of the beaches for any duties that the chair may have on the schedule, because I will be attending my grandson Zachary's black belt. He's testing for his black belt, okay? And this is a big deal. You only get the test for your black belt one time, and so I will be there. But as soon as that's done, I'll be down there at the opening of the beaches, and I hope to see all of you there. And if there's nothing else, we are adjourned.